what's up guys? Murder of Birds here. Welcome back. It has been a while. This is the first video that I am sitting down to record in my new recording space that will eventually go up on YouTube. I am officially unpacked. I am moved in. I am settled. E3 2019 is behind us. I did all of my videos and streams for that, and I am now sitting down to get back to doing regularly scheduled recordings for videos that you guys can look forward to over the next couple of weeks. This one being incredibly relevant and something that I wasn't expecting to cover when I got back, but something that inevitably developed over the last couple of weeks to where it released today for the general public. So there is a death battle out there between a certain RWBY character going up against a certain Persona character. Ice Queen versus Ice Queen. Weiss of RWBY versus Mitsuru of Persona 3. Now, I know these two characters are similar in nature, but I know very little about Persona 3. Persona 5 was my first ever Persona game that I played last year on my Twitch channel, and so I don't really have a lot of relevance. I am going in with a bit of bias, but I am going in with an open mind of seeing how these two characters fight, seeing how the animation is, seeing where the research is coming from based on the perspective of Death Battle, and I'm just excited to see the fight and everything else. The last thing I really give a shit about is who wins, because there's always controversy, there's always debate, there's always someone's salty, someone's happy, vice versa. So really quick, before I get into this, I do want to go into a bit of a backstory, a brief backstory of my history with Death Battle and things of this nature that I'm sitting down to record. So I am aware of the Tifa versus Yang death battle that Screw Attack did back in 2015. I usually get comments like this every so often where people will discover my channel, they'll go through my backlog of videos, and if there's something that's not there that they expect, they kind of raise questions. Typically, it usually falls in line with, hey, I discovered your channel, I started watching your reactions to, say, RWBY Volume 3 through 6, and I'm wondering where your Volume 1 or 2 reactions are. And unless you already know, or unless you were around back then, you would know that I only did reviews for Volumes 1 and 2, and Volume 3 was when I started bringing in reactions to the RWBY, to my RWBY content, and really reactions in general took off at that point for me, even though I did them with minor series and other anime shows. So in the same vein, for those of you who don't know, the death battle between Yang and Tifa came out October 21st, I believe. It came out like the week that Volume 3 started. But if you go back to my first RWBY Volume 3 video where I reviewed and did a reaction / analysis of the trailer, that was uploaded December 7th. I was nearly 2 months behind when RWBY Volume 3 came out, and that was because I didn't have internet in my house for roughly 2 months. And during that time, the Tifa versus Yang battle came out. I watched it the day it came out. I wasn't home to watch it. I didn't have the means of being able to record it and upload it to YouTube. I wasn't even doing reactions for RWBY during that time. And by the time I did, I thought about it in like November, and then December I actually put it into practice. But I watched the Yang versus Tifa death battle at a Papagino's. It's a pizzeria in my region with a bunch of friends, and I was really surprised that Yang won. Because I know Tifa is a very hardcore veteran fighter. She comes from a very fierce JRPG line of Final Fantasy. I've been exposed to Tifa primarily from the Advent Children movie, and she's a badass. She can kick some ass. And for me at the time, I felt like Yang was very inexperienced. It was basically a Volume 2 Yang. And I personally feel like Volume 6 Yang would beat the shit out of Volume 2 Yang, but Volume 2 Yang beat someone like Tifa. On top of the fact that Aura works drastically differently than it did back in 2015, right? Aura back then was a passive shield. Aura nowadays that we know was retconned to work more actively. So I feel like there were elements and points of Tifa losing that I was very shocked about. I wasn't like, yeah, RWBY's the best. RWBY would definitely, Yang would definitely beat Tifa 10 times out of 10. I liked it more for the spectacle. I watched it with other friends who were Final Fantasy fans, and they felt very like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, how the hell did Tifa lose? This is so biased, whatever. Like I said, there's always going to be those type of discussions and debates. But yeah, that's my brief history. I don't really watch Death Battle. Even after that one, I think the only 2 Death Battles that I've ever seen was Yang versus Tifa and Goku versus Superman. And I was watching that with friends as well. But apparently, I'm going to be getting into this reaction for the death battle between Weiss of RWBY and Mitsuru of Persona. So like I said, I got into Persona last year. Persona 5 is the only Persona I played. I know that Weiss and Mitsuru are both playable characters in Arc System Works' BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Weiss was one of the debut characters on the game, and then I believe Mitsuru is DLC. The only thing that I know going into this death battle is that they're both Ice Queens, they both use ice, and they both have rapiers. And they both basically kind of have personas, right? Weiss has her ice summon, and Mitsuru has a persona because she's in Persona. I don't know what it is. I've never played P3. I do own P3 FES, and I own P4 Golden, and after beating Persona 5, I do want to go back and stream Persona 4 and Persona 3 at some point in the future. But I kind of wanted to give this little backstory before I got into it to kind of let you guys know the context that I'm going into, that I have going into this. And obviously, the number one question on everyone's mind is, who do I think is going to win? I'd be biased if I didn't say... I'd be biased if I said Weiss, but realistically, based on my knowledge, I couldn't really vote for Mitsuru because I don't know what she's capable of. However, given the fact that I know what Persona is like, right? I've played Persona 5. I understand the nature of the series. I understand the nature of personas and the nature of kind of like what they represent. It's hard, right? Because I know Weiss, I know she has summons, I know she has a semblance, I know she has dust, I know she has a core fighting style, but Weiss has lost damn near every boss fight she's been in. And I know they're going to get into the research of this, but I'm kind of weighing in my own opinion. Weiss does not do well in 1v1 scenarios, right? She lost against Vernal, she lost against the Atlas, she lost against the White Fang Lieutenant, and she's just not a great solo 1v1 fighter. Mitsuru, I would give immediate credit to winning this fight based solely on the fact that she is a Persona character. She herself, her persona, it's just a more gritty and a more, I don't know, it's just a more hardened game and a hardened series compared to something like RWBY, in my opinion. Comparing Weiss to someone from Persona, and it could be, I think it could have been anyone from Persona, not just necessarily someone that's similar to Weiss, but that's kind of what I'm going into. I would be similar to Yang. I will be very surprised if Weiss beats Mitsuru, but I wouldn't. But if she won, I don't think, I think I'd be more surprised if she won, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mitsuru won. I guess I'm kind of going on Mitsuru's side, but at the same time, I don't want to undersell RWBY. I just think that, I don't know, I just think things are too against Weiss in this situation for her to win. But anyways, thank you guys so much again for tuning in. Like I said, this is going to be my first video of many that will be uploaded to the channel, as I am now back in my new environment. I've moved out. I'm getting back into the step of recording videos. Red vs. Blue will be coming back. RWBY Chibi will be coming back. RTX is next month, so we're going to be getting news and information about RWBY Volume 7 and you know, and everything else in between. But I do want to say, before we jump into this, because it's already 8 minutes in, thank you guys so much for being patient. Thank you guys so much for sticking around, for still being supportive on Discord, on Patreon, on YouTube, on Twitch. During this whole last week of E3 was really, really fun. And, you know, super engaging for a lot of people who, you know, who have been excited and looking forward to my return. I know that the last month and a half has been dry here on the channel, and I'm just glad that you guys understand, and you guys have been very understanding of my scenario. And like I said, I'm in my new environment. You guys will be seeing my house tour pretty soon. I'm elevated. I'm ready to get back and hit the ground running with videos and streams and everything like that. So without further ado, Ramble of Birds is back. Let's get into it. All right, everybody. So this death battle's actually been out for a couple of days. It came out on Monday for Rooster Teeth First members. Well, at the time of me sitting down to record this, it came out on Monday for First members. However, I was busy with E3 2019. It is now Wednesday. This is released to the public, so it's on the Rooster Teeth site and on YouTube, I believe. But I am a First member, so I'm just going to watch it on the RT site so I don't have to deal with ads. But yeah, here it is. Weiss versus Mitsuru. RWBY versus Persona. So really quick, I'm going to lower this audio just so it's not completely ear-shattering to you guys. Okay, let's see. Death battle, Weiss versus Mitsuru, RWBY versus Persona. Weiss's Ice Queen goes head-to-head. I'm sorry, RWBY's Ice Queen goes head-to-head with Persona's heiress of the Kirijo group in a chilling battle to the death. All right, so let's see. So is this like a different death battle that they did with Widowmaker? All right, anyways. I'm very excited to see the animation. I really, like I said, I really don't mind who wins. I'm just in it for the spectacle of everything and just the research and whatnot. But obviously I'm rooting for Weiss, best girl, but at the same time, I'm not expecting her to win. But with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments as always. And without further ado, we're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1, now. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow, that was a cool transition. That's a cool, like, intro here. All right, death battle, weapons, armor, skill. See it at RTX. Oh, nice. All right, they're going to RTX. I'll be there. I think they, well, Screw Attack's YouTube channel just recently got changed to death battle, so. All right, here we go. Death battle.
They're as cold as ice. They're willing to sacrifice.
Today, we're pitting together two queens of ice, born into powerful, if troubled families.
Chad James.
Weiss Schnee, heiress to the Schnee Dust Company and member of the Huntress Team RWBY.
All right.
And Mitsuru Kirijo, heiress
God
to the Kirijo
damn.
group and member of the persona-wielding
She looks like a
Seeds.
badass.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
it's our job to
Animation?
analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who
Oh,
would
okay,
win
so that's what
a
it's based
death
on.
battle.
Weapons, armor, and skill. I didn't know that that was the criteria.
The world of Remnant is known for
Hey,
many things.
world of Remnant.
The vicious creatures called Grimm, the hunters and huntresses committed to fighting them, and the Schnee family.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Papa
they're
Schnee,
kind of like
you bastard.
royalty, and their princess is Weiss Schnee. As
Yeah,
the
best
heiress
girl.
to the family company, she grew up in a pretty cold home.
Okay.
Pun intended.
So let's see. Full name, Weiss Schnee, 160 meters, 5'3". Former Schnee Dust Company heiress, but, you know, who's keeping count? Left-handed member of Team RWBY, inspired by Snow White. Nicknames Ice Queen, Snow Angel, and Princess. All right, all pretty good. She's the former heiress, though.
The
But other
Schnee
than that,
family
whatever.
expected a lot from Weiss. It was considered
I wonder if this
essential
is-
that she live up to their highly influential name.
Are they taking
Too
volume
bad for
6?
them, she had her own plans.
Rejecting her father's wishes to remain at home, Weiss left to attend Beacon Academy and train to become a huntress, literally putting the W in Team RWBY. Within just a year, Weiss established her own name.
I love how
for
they're
herself,
using the
saving
Crow
kingdom
versus
on
Winter
more than
music.
one occasion, and doing so with her trusty blade,
Hey!
And that's McHugh.
They're using the
Nasty
manga.
Here's a multi-action rapier with a 3-foot-long blade.
Okay,
But
let's
yet-
check this out. Multi-action dust rapier, 91 centimeters, 3 feet, 6 slots. Okay, ice, fire, wind, hard light, gravity, and lightning. Okay, Miranaster. All right, so far so
But
good.
It's also a gun. Instead of
Hey,
a
they
plain
said
old
the thing.
crossguard, it's got a 6-slot revolver-style chamber that
Yeah.
Weiss fills with bullets colored like the rainbow.
Well, they're not exactly bullets.
Yeah,
they are
they are
vials of
dust.
which she can fire to enhance her weapon and skills.
I love the
Ironically,
animation.
The Schnee Dust Company is by
They definitely
far
didn't
one
do
of the
animation
largest
when I
producers
watched
and
the
exporters
Yang
of
vs.
dust.
Tifa one.
Wait. They sell dust? I got a ton of that shit covering the bookshelf in the trailer. I could sell it and finally have enough money to
Oh,
buy.
boy. Hey,
a
Tinkerbell.
second bookshelf. Just farm, here I come.
No, not that kind of dust. In the world of Remnant, dust is an energy source, often used to fuel vehicles, androids, and weapons.
Basically
Wait,
anything.
you have books?
When did I say anything about books?
Well, long story short, there are 4
Hey,
main
World of
types
Remnants.
dust. Air, lightning, fire, and water.
And
Okay.
Weiss likes to mix water and
Mixing
air
'em all
together
up.
for her favorite, ice dust.
God, this is such a throwback.
That is why they call you the Ice Queen.
She can also attack with fire, launch a windstorm, block attacks with barriers, and many, many other techniques.
Oh,
Needless
shoot!
to say, Myrtanaster
BB
is a
tag.
surprisingly versatile weapon.
They
She
haven't
also
gone.
uses dust to boost her semblance, which is basically her X-Men
Aw.
superpower. Weiss gets hers from her family line and can do a
Yeah.
bunch of stuff with it.
She can make
They can
glyphs
all,
on surfaces or in the air,
hereditary.
each with a different color denoting its ability. Black glyphs hold things in place, while white ones propel things forward.
Okay.
Also, by infusing glyphs with dust,
That's
she
so
can manipulate
cool,
their
man. I remember when I
effects.
freaked
For example,
out when that
a
happened.
touch of lightning dust lets her dilate time, dramatically increasing her
Oh,
speed.
so it uses
Or even
lightning
better,
dust
she can
for
use
that.
the-
I didn't know that. I didn't know that she. I guess it makes sense because the dust, the glyph turns yellow. But yeah, okay. So she uses lightning dust for the time dilation. We haven't seen the time dilation since like what, volume 2? All right. So propulsion, gravity, time dilation. She can summon the Borbitus, Queen Lancer, Armor Gigas, which is her knight. All so far so good. Yeah, and they would probably only go up to volume 5 because she didn't really do much on her own during volume 6. There was no like major fight that she was a part of. So yeah, I can see why they're only going up to volume 5 for her.
The glyphs to summon
Powered by
monsters to
Aura.
aid her in battle, Beastmaster style, like this crazy boar, a giant killer wasp, and the Armagigas.
Which
Yeah.
literally translates to giant armor.
Giant
in
armor.
Latin, so fitting.
Damn,
Yep.
Just imagine how great her family
Dude,
would be if they all didn't
I'm
hate
so
each
excited
other.
for this. I like that they do the
Unlimited
research,
dust,
'cause I don't know
giant
anything about
bodyguards you can
Mitsuru.
summon anytime, and they'd never be stuck with warm beer.
Unfortunately, the Schnee family does suffer from some rocky relationships, with the exception of Weiss and her older sister,
Sister
Winter.
Wait, go back. Is her dad Colonel Sanders?
Yes, there's a certain resemblance.
Yo, that's literally what the fandom said.
KFC? No wonder they're so rich.
Wow.
Where did you get that chicken?
What? You don't carry pocket chicken?
Oh boy.
So, back on topic,
Hey,
Weiss has
BB
a
Tide,
very
okay.
powerful inversion.
She can summon creatures she has previously slain in battle. Okay, that's accurate. Specifically those who hold particular importance in her growth, while her sister can summon multiple with a single creature. Weiss hasn't shown this capability yet.
And
Okay.
like most semblances, it's powered by her aura.
Which is like an invisible shield around her body.
Hmm.
She's basically unkillable while it's up.
Though the aura itself isn't indestructible, it can
Let's
be
see.
depleted after taking a lot of damage and needs time to restore itself.
Okay.
Without it, she cannot use her semblance, and she's muddy.
Hey, look at that. They're referring to the AMA that they did. Sorry if I keep pausing it because I have a lot to say. Yeah, so this was something that was updated as well. I don't know if they ever touched on this. Like I mentioned before, Aura has gone through a little bit of a metamorphosis, if you will, since its initial, since like the last like Yang versus Tifa death battle. But yeah, like Aura does deplete after time, and you cannot use your semblance if you have no aura. But this was stated in 2017 versus I don't know if they applied that at all in 2015 during the death battle. But anyways, yeah, a good thing that they brought this up. Doing a lot of research.
Much more vulnerable.
But that aura is pretty friggin' tough. It was just enough to take a full-on
Oh.
hit from a geyser of lava.
Okay, so these are the feats. Jeez, I keep pausing. I apologize. I'm just like I'm probably gonna do this for the other one as well. So Armagigas cuts up a paladin, nearly topples a colossus, dodges a sound attack. All right, so these are all the feats that during her entire usage of it. Okay, that's fine.
Lava can reach temperatures up to 1200 degrees Celsius.
Ah,
enough to melt
yep.
iron.
Flint
and during
coal.
a food fight of all things, she was
Flint
thrown
coal
into
fight.
a pillar so hard it was obliterated.
Hey, Wiz, I've been in a
Weiss,
few food
don't
fights in
leave
my
me.
time, and that shit
God,
gets
Volume
intense,
2
and
was
that
such
one's
a
tame by
joy.
comparison.
But greatest
Volume
of
2
all,
is so
with
fun.
the combination of ice and her aura, she survived riding atop a speeding train crashing
Yep.
through concrete. By measuring the diameter of the resulting hole and applying the values of fragmentation, this means Weiss survived an impact equal to over 7 tons of TNT.
But it's
Goddamn.
not just Weiss that's tough. Her glyphs are strong enough to catapult the Armagigas, and with her ice powers, she's knocked around a
Volume
giant mech
6!
built for fighting
Okay, so they are
Godzilla-sized
referencing
grip.
V6.
Compared
Nice.
to the height of her teammate nearby, it appears she created over 2,000 metric tons of ice.
Goddamn.
Obviously, that much
Weiss,
ice
you're
doesn't
so
fit into
freaking
2
best,
vials
girl.
of dust. She's likely using the ocean as a base to exert fusion energy and vaporization energy on the nitrogen.
Oh
in
my
the
God,
air,
so
thereby
freaking, that's like
freezing
big
it
brain
so.
freaking
At most, this would
research right
require
there.
Over 900 billion joules of energy, equivalent to detonating around 230 tons of TNT.
Wow!
My
no
God.
wonder she could push that big old robot around. Plus, Weiss can also move super quick, dodging missiles and even hitting
Oh my God,
bullets out
mech
of
to
the
mech
air.
action.
And with time dilation, she can stay nearly untouchable while taking out her opponents in the blink of an eye.
All right, in the
Like
manga,
that
she has
old
greater
saying,
feats such
float
as
like
using
an inner
glyphs
tube on
to
a
pull
lazy
meteors
river
out from outer
and sting
space.
like
Yep.
you're peeing in the
God,
morning.
she's so
Please go
broken.
to a doctor. Throughout her journey, Weiss has overcome all sorts of dangers,
The
but her most
world
difficult task
doesn't
may have been
need
the
to
moment her
learn to
father
stay.
cut her out of the
Hey,
family,
yeah.
leaving her financially broke and dismissed from her birthright.
Boo-hoo, no more allowance. Still, she's powered through and made a name for herself as a huntress. With the RWBY team at her back, I think she's found the family she truly belongs to.
I can't wait to hear the full version of Rising. Can't wait. All right, time for the persona research.
I'm more than a name.
That was pretty hype. All right.
In the early 2000s, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone in Japan who didn't know of the Kirijo Group, a global conglomerate
Persona
involved in nearly
was
every
such a
aspect of
great
daily
series.
life, and the heiress to this impressive company.
Oh, she's an heiress? Okay, so they're both heiresses. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Founder of the Shadow Operatives. I am going to be playing P3 at some point in the future. I loved Persona 5. It's my favorite video game of all time. Likes the Mar and Karin spell too much. What is that?
Was a young girl named Mitsuru Kirijo.
But unknown to her,
Mitsuru
the family
Kirijo.
company was into some pretty sketchy stuff. Her grandpa started experimenting with some sort of mental world called the Mind Plane.
The metaverse!
Or more
really?
officially, the collective unconscious, a realm connected to every living being's subconscious mind. And within the collective unconscious,
Is this like the
dwell
metaverse for
shadows,
P3 though?
fragments of human psyche, which often appear as malevolent monsters.
They're basically demons.
Kind of. However,
Oh
there's
wow, this
another
game looks
sort
really
more directly
good.
integrated
Hey,
with the minds of
P4!
individual people, effectively becoming their shadow selves.
Oh gosh, I'm getting.
So
Oh, that's
some of them
Chie
are demons
from
who want to
P4.
kill you, and some of them
I don't
are
know who any
demons
of these
who are
other
part of
characters
your
are.
brain.
Close enough.
Well, Gramps tried to get the shadows for himself, but as anyone who's tried to summon demons will tell you, don't do that. Trust me, it never works out. And
Oh,
when
boy.
it does, it doesn't.
Chaos incarnate erupted.
Let's see.
The resulting explosion from his experiment released the shadows into reality to prey on an
Oh.
unsuspecting populace.
That's
and
very different
unveiled
than
the
P5.
Tartarus, a citadel between
Tartarus?
worlds. The Earth was drastically
Am I getting
changed
spoiled on
with a new
P3 right
dark
now?
hour, an extra hour of time occurring at midnight.
Most folks
Okay.
didn't notice, though. The world basically freezes in time during the dark hour, including people. So nobody's got to pick up a new 25-hour clock, because when the hour runs up, everything continues like nothing happened. It's like getting an extra hour of secret sleep.
But some people are able to operate during this hour,
Okay.
including Mitsuru, which she decided to take full advantage of.
Yeah,
Dark
she felt
hour.
pretty guilty about her family.
Oh my
basically
gosh, this
ruining
game looks
everything
really
and
nice
sending
for a
hundreds of
PS2
murder
game.
monsters into the world. So she swore to fix her
I
grandfather's
mean, like it aged
mess.
really well.
And while she's certainly skilled with a rapier thanks to her time in
Oh.
fencing club, a single sword
All right, see, Rapier, Persona, retractable Ice Whip, grants immunity to ice. Okay, well, Weiss is gonna have a little bit of trouble if there's I mean, Weiss uses a bunch of different abilities. Okay, grants analysis and clairvoyance power, telepathic communication, ice attack, healing, charms, explosions, ice attacks, freezing attacks. The top one was confusion, steals energy, a deadly slash, arsenal and abilities. Yo, she is freaking. She's pretty.
would never be enough to combat the hordes of
Pretty
shadows.
formidable.
Luckily, her first experience with the Dark Hour helped her out in this regard.
That's
Okay.
one way to put it. She and her dad
Oh
were
my
almost
gosh, she's
murdered
so
by
cute.
Spooky shadows.
But this event also led to an awakening. With the threat of
Yep.
death itself mere seconds away, Mitsuru dug deep within and found
and
a
awoken
new
her
weapon,
persona.
her shadow self,
And that's how she became a person user.
persona user.
Yeah, that's what I
A
said.
person user.
Thanks to this fateful night, Mitsuru can summon a manifestation of her personality known as a persona. This was Penthesilea, who would
Wow.
eventually evolve into her
Whoa.
ultimate
That's
form,
so cool.
Artemisia.
Artie is the best non-imaginary friend you could ask for. She's
Yo,
got all
that's
sorts
sick.
of powerful
Also, I'm
ice
getting
spells.
spoiled
She can
right
heal
now on
Mitsuru's
P3.
wounds. She can
But I don't
drain
care.
someone's energy and
Oh,
add it
and
to
also she's
Mitsuru's
in
own.
BB tag, so-
And she can blow people up with mega deal. It's a big purple kaboom that ignores
Megadolon?
special defenses. Anyway, and to top it all
That doesn't
off,
that do severe
she's got a
damage?
kinky ice whip.
While Artemisia cannot really be killed, she does have her limits. When
Okay.
a persona is overtaxed or takes too much damage,
Persona
it
break.
becomes broken and unusable for a short time.
And since Artemisia is
Hey,
technically
Teddy.
part of Mitsuru's mind, when the persona gets hurt, so does she.
Oh,
But
really?
this connection also grants Mitsuru her own set
Damage
of
to the
special
persona does not
powers.
physically injure,
She's
rather it
physically
strains the
superior to
stamina
most
and mental
others. She can also
pain.
sense the locations of people and layouts of buildings through
I
analytical
can't wait to play
clairvoyance.
P3, dude. I
She's
heard
also
P3 was
immune
really
to ice
good.
and the cold, so I'm not really sure why she needs that giant fur coat.
Everyone needs a good
Yo, for
coat,
style.
Liz.
Come on, man.
Come on.
I guess. It is a pretty nice coat. Anyway, Mitsuru wasn't going into battle alone.
I don't know who any
She
of these
gathered a
characters
team of
are.
Persona users to form the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad, or SEAS, which is much easier to say.
SEAS.
The team set out to
Yo,
explore
the Phantom
Tartarus,
Thieves.
combat the shadows, and put an end to the Dark Hour, while also scoring some extra credit because it was technically
That
an after-school
guy.
club.
Japanese
He's in.
schools
Oh,
are
I
way
think a
more
bunch of them
hardcore
are
than
in
And with
BB
the team at
tag.
her back, Mitsuru needed a tool to reliably summon personas with. And so came the Evoker, which
The what?
might be a little disturbing to some people, so fair warning.
Yeah, it looks just like a gun, and that's kind of the point. The idea is to
While
use
the
the gun
Invoker
to
is a
create
status
an
for
extremely
summoning
dramatic
isn't technically
experience,
required,
similar
it's
to
skilled
how
enough
Mitsuru
without
first
one.
evoked her own persona.
Oh, is it
Specifically,
like
this is
ripping off the
accomplished by
mask?
aiming the thing at your face and pulling the trigger.
Yeah, that's definitely not how guns are supposed to work.
Questionable concepts
the
aside,
hell?
Mitsuru and her persona are
That's
an
pretty
absolute
savage
terror
compared
on the
to ripping a
battlefield.
mask off.
Oh, God! Did she just cut off that thing's dick?
Yes, she did, Boomstick, and it was a goddamn cannon.
Oh,
Jesus.
The horror, but also cannon dick.
Mitsuru is quick enough to dodge gunfire. Heck,
Wow.
another persona user is even fast enough to outrun a bullet.
Wow, okay, slices up. Okay, these are her feats. Arcana Justice. Kilotons of ice, dodges gunfire, exploding bridges, a building-sized demon. Battled Kronos, the god of time. Okay.
Fired by a magnum.
Those usually have a
Hey,
muzzle velocity of
Yakechi!
over 360 meters per second.
And
That's
personas
sick.
can move even faster. Neotos could react to and catch an arrow in milliseconds, and Mitsuru has defeated her in battle.
But
That's
hey,
cool.
how about that time Mitsuru and her whole team
Yo, Persona is
survived
such
an
a great
explosion that
series.
totally
This shit's
wrecked
so
this whole
awesome.
bridge. Now,
P3 looks so
in my
fascinating.
humble opinion, using my very own handcrafted
Better than
munitions
sex.
measurement chart,
Shit,
I'd
we're
say
dead.
this blast falls somewhere in the range of, oh shit, we're dead.
Interesting, but let's use some real science now.
This is real science. I tested explosions and their real effects on real people, just like you would. I'm a real scientist now.
Oh boy.
But that's... Wait, real people? Boomstick? Where are the interns?
Oh, they're dead.
Hey, look, I
This
got
is
you
so
that
funny.
coat
I
that
like
you
this a
wanted.
lot. The,
Oh, thank you.
The animation,
It's so soft.
little gags.
So are the interns. But hey, Wiz, there's one more math thing.
My
you
God,
gotta do.
dude, they're
By
just, like,
working with
offing
another
themselves.
Persona user, Yukari, Mitsuru helped freeze up this giant, creepy puppet monster.
Well, again, taking nitrogen into account as it
I don't
comprises
wanna look at
70%
this. I
of
feel like
Air's
I'm getting
makeup. We can
spoiled.
apply its required
Hopefully I
fusion
forget
energy
by the
and
time I play
vaporization energy.
P3.
To find this feat would need an energy output equal to 60 kilotons of TNT. Though
Jesus
this can't all be
Christ.
attributed to Mitsuru, as she did have help.
That's still a hell of a lot
way
of ice.
more than
Mitsuru
Weiss, I
and
think.
Artemisia sure make a powerful pair.
I
And
can't
even
see
after
Weiss beating
successfully
someone
ending
like
the
this,
Dark Hour and
honestly.
redeeming her family name, Mitsuru continued battling for people everywhere, one shadow at a time.
I
This
really,
appears to be just the beginning.
I do
All
not
right, the
see.
combatants are set.
Oh
and we
my
found the
God.
data through all possibilities.
Oh boy,
It's time for a
death battle! Yeah, I remember that. Oh God, wish her luck. Wish them both luck. Oh, they're already fighting. Yo, this looks really good. Rapier Queens.
Such good form. You fight with a sense of ease. Thank you, but flattery will get you nowhere.
What? They have actual new voice actors from Kara. Oh, this is sick! Oh, her move from the trailer. She's immune to ice. Get that shit out of here. Yo, the music's good too.
Fighting with ice. Ironic. And a waste of time. Artemisia!
Oh, fuck. You better summon your... You better... What? She's actually fighting it? Ooh, you're like fighting 2v1 right now. Dude, that's crazy. She's fighting 2v1. Where is you? Oh, okay.
Ice Queen.
Nice. Hey.
So that's what it's like.
Yeah, that's what it's like. I mean, she's the, like, she's also an ice queen. Oh, volume 2! Dude, this animation's really good. Oh, careful! Come on, Weiss, pay attention. This shit looks sick, dude. Oh my God. All right, here we go. Persona versus Persona. Essentially. Let's go. That was sick. All right, let's go. Yo, this animation is so good. Woo. Come on, armor. It's not as, it doesn't have as much as a Persona does, like in terms of
As this was,
utilization.
I have to admit, you fought valiantly. But now, you'll fall by my own hand. I can do this on my own. Artemisia!
Are you serious, Weiss? Oh, what? Hello? What? She has no aura. This is it.
How strong are you?
Oh, fuck.
Strong enough.
Oh my god. Oh, she's too strong, Weiss. Are you serious? Oh. That's a fucking astral! Oh, I'm sorry, Weiss. You gotta hold that L, dude. Yeah.
KO!
That's what I
Well,
expected.
I'm glad we got these coats, because that was
Holy
cool.
shit,
Weiss
that
was
was
incredibly
sick.
skilled. Her versatility certainly proved a challenge for Mitsuru, and she held a decent advantage in speed thanks to time dilation. Though to
Yeah,
be
base
fair,
speed relative.
Mitsuru's analytical clairvoyance meant it would have been pretty difficult for Weiss to get the jump on her. Plus, Naota's
That's
persona
true.
had to move around Mach 7 to catch that arrow in such a short amount of time.
Makes
so
sense.
Artemisia must be capable of similar speeds.
Yeah, but
Jeez,
slowing
that
down
was
time seems like an
really
instant
good
win move,
animation.
In some ways, yes, but we look for
Some
who
RWBY
can
characters-
win the most matches overall, not just a couple times out of
Personas.
1,000 possibilities thanks to one good move.
Yeah, even though Weiss had plenty of
At
attack
face value,
options,
some RWBY characters
Mitsuru's
similar.
defenses were just too strong. Like how
Yeah.
she completely canceled Weiss's ice
Jesus.
This presented a unique problem for Weiss, who has always been fairly reliant on ice
On
techniques.
ice
She was
attacks,
forced
yep.
to use dust, which she has less experience with.
Plus, Weiss and her summons have never dealt damage
Mitsuru won
anywhere
fire
close to
resistant
that
equipment
oh
before.
shit, we're dead explosion that Mitsuru survived.
She
By
literally
taking
hit her with the
diameter of
astral
blast here
finish.
And comparing it to real-life nukes, then considering how far Mitsuru was from the center of it, she took a hit worth over 21 tons of TNT.
Goddamn!
Definitely higher than Weiss's 7-ton train feat.
Yeah.
Frankly, Mitsuru's survivability and power output outclassed Weiss. Even if we cut her major ice feet in half,
Like,
since she's
personas
aided
are
by
like
Yukari,
otherworldly
Mitsuru
compared
still
to
output
RWBY
130
characters.
times more energy than Weiss when
Yeah.
she attacked that mech.
But numbers aren't everything, right?
Sure, there's always a new way to look at things.
I
For
mean,
instance,
numbers
Weiss's
don't
arsenal
lie.
was limited by her aura and dust supply, while Mitsuru had no such constraint on her own powers.
That's true
It
too.
takes a long time to restore aura. And remember, when a persona
That was
gets
so
broken,
sick.
it can just come back a few seconds later.
Yeah.
Which was extremely useful, as Artemisia could heal Mitsuru
That's
at
where
any
Weiss
time
found,
by
like,
doing
Weiss knew she
whatever
was wrecked
progress
right there.
Weiss had
That
made.
look on her
Oh
face.
man, what an ice-cold move.
While Weiss's speed and versatility put
I
up
believe
a
that's
good
her
fight,
astral.
Mitsuru's greater defense,
for
raw
BB
power,
tag.
and more reliable arsenal proved too much for the Huntress.
She had no chance.
The winner is Mitsuru Kirito.
I'm not surprised. Not surprised
Hey,
at
thanks
all.
for watching Death Battle. Don't go away just yet.
That was pretty entertaining. So, like I mentioned before, I would have been far more surprised if Weiss won than if she lost. But I swear to God, like, there's a lot of parallels to P3 to P5, even though they're not the same. I don't think they take place in the same universe, but at the same time, Persona games have a level of consistency to them, right? You have the other world, you have like the metaverse, you have Awakenings, you have Personas, and they're just like, they're on like another level when it comes to their otherworldly and like superhuman feats compared to Weiss, who is, I don't know, like I really did think like Mitsuru had it in the bag, especially when they were actually breaking down the feats and the numbers, and I was just like, I don't see how Weiss is possibly going to win this. I thought, more than anything, I thought the animation to that fight was fantastic. I thought that was spectacular. That actually looks really good compared to some of the fights that we've seen in previous volumes of RWBY as well. So everything felt very authentic too, like the voice acting. Obviously, they got Kara and I assume the voice actress of Mitsuru to kind of add those extra dialogue lines. Everything kind of looked the same. Obviously, they weren't to the exact detail, like for the models in the actual RWBY show, but that was pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to Persona 3 more, and obviously going into P3, I feel like I'm gonna have a little bit of a bias towards Mitsuru now that I've seen what she can do beyond Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. And yeah, that was pretty freaking sick. I feel like most people would think that I would root for Weiss simply because I am most likely known for my RWBY content, like my reactions and stuff like that. But again, I've never been of the mind of debating or arguing whether a character should win or should lose a death battle. I didn't feel that way against Yang versus Tifa. And while Weiss is my favorite character, I can at least understand, yeah, you definitely got to take that L. You definitely aren't going to beat someone to the degree of Mitsuru, especially when you yourself haven't even reached like your pinnacle yet. I feel like there's so much more to Weiss than Volume 7, right? Beyond Volume 7, even into adulthood, I still don't think she's reached her physical peak just yet. And so it's very easy to see why she would lose to someone like Mitsuru, who I feel is far more experienced in combat in general, and just what she goes through compared to what Weiss goes through. It's kind of comparing apples to oranges. But again, like I said, I really liked the death battle. That was I think leaps and bounds above, like in terms of entertainment, leaps and bounds above what I remember from the death battle between Tifa and Yang. Weiss is still my favorite. This doesn't change anything from me to her. Again, it's a what if battle. It's kind of like a fan fiction fantasy come true via animation. And I feel like hopefully most people don't take this the wrong way or don't get completely upset that their favorite character won or lost. But overall, that was a really interesting fight. The next thing that I'm going to be checking out actually from this video, something a little bit similar, is going to be Mark Zhang's fan-made RWBY Regalia trailer that came out during my move. So I'm just going to be jumping into all of the animation and action and hype from this going into that. But thank you guys again so much for watching. Leave any thoughts that you guys might have in the comment section regarding this video. And I hope you guys look forward to the return of more videos in the next couple of days. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.